Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So firstly, I just like to explain why I'm only uploading now since my last upload. So I actually went for surgery on my end, so not this one, the left hand, and I assumed that the recovery process wouldn't take as long as it did, and it completely threw me off. However, uh, throughout that time or during that time, God laid something on my heart that was really important for me to make a video about. But before I continue with that, I would firstly like to say that I'm going to upload videos every second week, and yeah, every second week, so that should be roughly around 2 to 3 times a month. And yeah, so from here on out, every second week you'll be seeing a video from me. Okay, and so yeah, so like I said, God laid something on my heart for me to speak on, and this is the thing. It was completely unexpected because I was going through my notebook where I write, all the things where I write all the things down that God has sort of laid in my heart, or that I've if I find inspiration, biblical inspiration somewhere, then I just write it down. But anyway, I was just going through it and I was looking for a different note. And then, I was looking for something specific, but then I came upon this thing that I wrote down. And it was something I saw, which was completely weird. And mind you, this was on the 30th of September. And I think we had a church prayer meeting or something like that. But anyway, this I just saw in the spirit. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to make this video very long. So I'm hoping for this to serve as an encouragement and just something powerful for future references, but then also for people to see that God does work and that God reveals amazing things to people. And I'm not just referring to myself, I'm referring to everyone, because I've heard amazing things from people even during this time, and especially with what is going on in the world, and not just in South Africa, but also outside in every other country. Anyway, so let me get to it. So I saw an earthquake, right? That's the title of the video. But I'm going to read this excerpt, so please mind my writing. I'm going to show you that I actually wrote it on the 30th of September, because people out there thinking I'm probably lying, but it's gonna look gross. Anyway, maybe you can see it there. Anyway, so hopefully, yeah, you're able to see. But 30th of September, this is what I wrote down. And this was before I heard anything about earthquake, and it was just weird when I saw this, and when it came into my spirit, I was like, Lord, this is very weird, but let me write it down. And I don't always write everything down that comes to mind, of course, but this just struck me as something important to note. Anyway, I'm going to read it word for word. So what I wrote down was, I saw an earthquake, but when I saw the earthquake, I was not devastated by it. The earth fell in, and the hole I saw, in terms of the empty hole I saw, was dark and deep and black. There was broken tar above ground and broken concrete. And as the earth gave way, I felt the sensation of feeling safe, which is weird. And then I realized that Jesus is the rock, and our rock, and our rock. And this rock stood in the middle of this black hole. Remember this black hole of the earthquake? In the middle of this black hole. And was unshaken, made like a mountain rock, sturdy and not grounded on this earth, and was unshaken. But it just stood there majestic and at peace and full of strength. And at the time I didn't really realize, but when I read it, when I stumbled upon it, when I was looking for something else, it just encouraged me a bit, because at the time I was hearing about, the earthquake in Turkey. And for those of you who have me on WhatsApp, I was posting quite a bit about it, because it's insane. The two earthquakes that happened there. It was complete devastation. There was even parts of the earth that where you found fields and just nice open fields and farm area, completely split in half, and people thought, something insane, like it was the end of the world, essentially, if you look up the video recordings of what happened there. And yeah, of what happened there. Anyway, so when I heard about it, it not disturbed me, but it worried me, and it made me feel a bit uneasy. And anyway, so I stumbled upon this, and I read the last part of it, which speaks about Jesus being the rock. And what more specifically stood out to me was the last part, where I mentioned that Jesus is the rock, a sturdy rock, almost like a mountain-like rock that came out from this black hole, or rather stood out from it, was unshaken, but was not grounded on this earth. And that was very important, because to me, Jesus is the rock. And when I stand fast on who he is to me, my Savior, and what he means to me, and just what he accomplished when he was on this earth, it emphasizes God's kingdom, and thereby minimizes everything that has its foundation on this earth. And what was in it, and obviously, Jesus comes out as the Savior, and he comes out as this amazing individual that saves, right? That is steadfast, that is obviously not of this world, not of this earth, not of this realm, and therefore does not break like it does. It isn't as fragile as it is, and in that you can trust, in that you can find peace and find safety. And what was interesting? The other day I was watching this video of this guy, these individuals who do ministry in the Middle East, and area, Syria, Turkey, and all of those places. But they were referring to an article that they heard of, and the article said that, and I'll maybe put the link of the article up if I do find it. But what the article said was mind-blowing to me, because when the earthquakes occurred there in Turkey, and there was such devastation, and obviously because of the political climate there were people who were stuck under the rubble for very long because of lack of assistance. And young people, like kids, man, they were stuck there under the rubble for like 5 days a week, even longer, and which is obviously very sad. But what this article said is really miraculous. So there were I think there was a few cases where young children, they come roughly between the ages of, I think, 10 to 15. I think they would roughly be 13, 12, around about there. Young kids, when people pulled them out of the rubble, they were able to, when people wanted to offer them food, and water and all of that, they said they weren't hungry, which is insane, because if you stay there, like, kids aren't supposed to be surviving for so long in that sort of environment without any water, without any food. And they said no, they're not hungry. The people obviously asked them why, what is going on, why aren't you hungry? And they said a man in white fed them, and I might be mistaken here, but gave them water as well, sort of nourished them. And I think there was one instance where one kid said that they this person in white, man in white, clothed in white, was also lifting part of the building up, sort of to protect this young person and make sure that the young person is safe. And remember, this was mentioned or said or told not just by one kid. It was easily 3 kids, you know, and there might have been more. I can't remember exactly. But I thought to myself, wow, that's amazing. And just let me say this also, because they wanted to test, because they maybe thought there was something psychologically wrong with one or two of them, which was why in the one case they tested the blood sugar levels, or the blood of the one child, just to make sure that they do have they were nourished, you know, they were fed, or they were like didn't really need the food, because I mean maybe they were, you know, having illusions, or because maybe just because they've been there for very long and they were deprived of certain things. And they said that when they tested the blood, they saw that this kid's protein levels were safe. There was nothing wrong with it. They in fact didn't need to be fed, which is unheard of for someone in that sort of stressful position or stressful environment, a stressful situation, to come out of it without any bodily needs, without any physical bodily needs, and having to have come out of it with saying, someone fed me, and this person was clothed in white, which is so miraculous. And then it just sort of encouraged me even more, and I hope that it encourages you as well. I'm going to do my best to find those articles, and you know, for you to also be nourished and filled by um, that awesome work of God. And it just gave me it gave me hope, you know, with all that devastation going on there in Turkey. And it was about, I think it was about 50,000 people that died, that was killed in that. Guys, that is insane for people to die within that span of time because of an earthquake. So God has done miracles even in that as well. But anyway, I'm hoping that this serves as somewhat of an encouragement that Jesus is our rock. Jesus is who we should rely on. Jesus is there to feed us, to be our safe haven, to be our peace, to be our hope, and to help us persevere throughout and know that He is there for us. And yeah, man, I just hope that this blesses you, and that it comforts you as well. So yeah, make sure to watch out for my next video, and God bless you.